Under her thick layer of reindeer fur, Anya began to sweat profusely and pant. As she breathed it in, she felt a sharpness. The howling was getting closer and louder, but what scared her was that she couldn't hear the people around her. The ice tundra and the wolves of Siberia are iconic symbols of the region. Gray wolves are just as lethal as they've been made out to be in stories, so don't discount the horrors of their reputation. Stay tuned. In today's episode, we will discuss the 400-wolf Superpack attack on Anya Solovjov. Hey folks, welcome back to our channel. What are you guys waiting for? Let's dive in. The unthinkable happened in the 2012 winter. Russia, 13 January 2012, not far from Verkayang in the Sakha Republic. Yakut tribeswoman Anya was returning to the village along the path's hard-packed snow when she heard a sound that chilled her to the bone. Wolves howled, and their sound reverberated through the forest. Anya knew they wouldn't be deterred by the fact that it was daytime. She felt the icy air all around her as she stood in the silent forest. She moaned under her breath as her attention was riveted on a loaf of bread. Anya shrieked as she envisioned a swarm of black fur-clad bodies scurrying across the white tundra. It was then that she heard a new sound. Screams of terrified individuals could be heard. In the thick of the forest, it came. There was a moment when Anya stared off into the dark forest. The bare limbs of iron and spruce trees rustled but otherwise held still, revealing nothing but shadows. Dmitri, Anya's younger brother, guided visitors who came to see the northern lights. They were out together, and she knew it. She felt herself shivering. Without pausing for reflection, Anya heard the screams again, followed by the deafening hooting of owls. To the wolves she went. Perhaps her brother is still at large. She felt compelled to pitch in. There was a lot of snow. It was like trying to make progress through sluggish mud. Under her thick layer of reindeer fur, Anya began to sweat profusely and pant. The sting of the cold air in her lungs, she was already terrified, and now she couldn't even hear the people. After what seemed like hours of running, she crested a ridge and saw a clearing in the forest. In the middle of the clearing lived hundreds of wolves and a small group of terrified people dressed as hikers in heavy European coats. The bag was torn to pieces by the wolves. Items of clothing and maps were dispersed randomly. Anya could hear the ripping sound as the map's pages separated from the binding. There had been a horrible noise. Awaiting the rest of the group to reach the top of the ridge, Anya kept an eye on her brother who was lagging. She saw him sling his rifle over his shoulder and prepare to fire into the pack of wolves. There were 2 shots fired. The 2 animals promptly collapsed and died. When it came to shooting, Dmitri was a natural. The first hiker she helped was a perspiring European with a sunburned face, and after hauling him up the hill, she set off on her own. The other walkers ignored her and continued. There was no use firing her gun into the mass of people. The blood on their muzzles appeared to be a dead giveaway, according to Anya. She dragged her eyes away from the horror and headed off into the forest. 5 hikers took tumbles in the snow. Anya tried to save them each time but failed. Her ammunition quickly depleted, forcing her to resort to her hunting knife. They made it to the town of Verkayang, where they could rest easy. Soon after, Anya collaborated with local authorities to devise a strategy to exterminate the wolf population. 24 groups of hunters and trappers were given his blessing to offer $250 per wolf in exchange for their heads. So, how scared are you by this tale? Leave your thoughts in the section below. And that's all for today, guys. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more awesome content.